This franchise has always been about players, it's always been about basketball, and it's about anything we can do to help the player become the best they can be. This is really a huge example and an opportunity to show the rest of the league and the world and that's involved in women's sports what it takes to be a high-level athlete.
It's an unbelievable day for the Indiana Fever, another step for our franchise, again, to make this the best franchise in the world.
The Indiana Fever just made a huge $78 million announcement, but believe it or not, that's not even the biggest story of the day. While everyone's buzzing about their new, state-of-the-art facility, we've got the inside scoop on a free agent move that's shaking up the entire WNBA.
So the Indiana Fever announced that they're going to open a new practice facility coming up before the 2027 season, but they're going to get their own facility now. And they showed the mock-ups online, and it's as you would expect, right? It's going to be state-of-the-art. It's going to be awesome. It's going to look...
Caitlin Clark and the Fever roster are getting ready to embrace a new chapter, but who's joining them? We're breaking down the Fever's bold moves, from their cutting-edge training center to the superstar free agent they just locked in. Think you know what's coming next for Caitlin Clark and company? Stick around to find out why Indiana could be the WNBA's hottest destination. Are you ready?
As the CEO of Pacer Sports Entertainment, I couldn't be more excited for both our men's and our women's teams to have their own standalone practice facilities. I think it's expanding our campus in a great way. It's providing them everything they need to have the best performance that they can on the court. And I think it's absolutely the right time to do it.
Imagine a basketball paradise spanning 108,000 square feet. That's exactly what the Indiana Fever just announced. But why now? And what's the strategy behind this massive investment? Let's break it down. We're talking about a $78 million facility set to reshape what a WNBA team's home looks like. This facility is nearly twice the size of the biggest ones currently existing or planned for the WNBA and even rivals some NBA team facilities. The Fever are making a loud statement, and it's impossible to ignore.
From all of the weight and conditioning equipment, obviously we'll have 2 full-size courts. It'll be available 24/7 for them to come and utilize it, but also just the best in recovery, the best in mental health, places for them to be able to also record content, podcasts, and other things that they may have to go off-site and waste time doing things like that. So they can really maximize their time spent focusing on their performance and not on other things.
So, what's inside this basketball utopia? 2 full-sized courts to start, but that's just the beginning. You've got strength training areas that would make pro bodybuilders jealous, recovery rooms that feel more like a luxury spa than a sports facility, and everything an athlete needs to perform at their peak. But here's where it gets even more interesting: mental health facilities, a full-service kitchen, a podcast studio, and even a nail salon. The Fever are focused not just on training but on the overall player experience. This facility is built to help athletes thrive both on and off the court.
Well, first of all, our goals for this new training center is really to provide a first-in-class training center that is designed exclusively for women athletes. And I think that's important to note because it's not just a gym, it's a holistic approach to how women athletes train, recover, rehab.
This is going to be the best in class when it comes to a women's professional training facility. And not just the day that it opens, we're going to set this up and think about this as the best in class for many years to come.
Now, let's talk about the timing. This palace is set to open in 2027. Why 2027? Well, that's when Aaliyah Boston's rookie deal expires, and Caitlin Clark's contract is up in 2028. The Fever are laying the foundation for their future, sending a clear message to their stars and all potential free agents: this is the place you want to be. Compare that to other teams like the Connecticut Sun, who share their practice space with birthday parties and yoga classes. Alyssa Thomas of the Sun has even said, "We're a professional team, and we're competing for playoffs." Imagine having to share your court with a toddler's birthday party. That's a big contrast.
When I played in the Connecticut Sun, we practiced in like the recreational, like the tribal facility because the team is owned by the tribe. And so sometimes there'll be people doing like yoga classes and
that's crazy.
And different stuff. And like we'll be on the court, like practicing on the full court, like the full
during
NBA
your practice
court.
doing that?
Right. And then they'll come in and we have to like put the divider down.
Hell no.
And then we'll start going on a court that was like smaller than like a high school court. Kid you not, while we're in the playoffs.
They talking about keep it down. we got a yoga class going on over here.
Yeah, and it's like you peek your head over the side, and it's like 3 people over there, like doing downward dog or something crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? So
The stars are noticing. Caitlin Clark is fired up, posting on Instagram, and Iowa Boston is already using this new facility as a recruiting tool, telling potential free agents that Indiana is where they need to be. She says, "The Fever pour into us and make us feel like the professionals we are." Even basketball legend Lisa Leslie has expressed her admiration, commenting, "This is what investing in women looks like. When legends are praising your efforts, you know you're on the right track."
As we look toward Indianapolis becoming the epicenter of women's sports, having professional women's sports teams and having dedicated training facilities for them is really a key piece of putting that together.
This facility is more than just a building, it's a game changer that could have a lasting impact on the WNBA. The Fever are positioning themselves as the team every player wants to join, creating an environment where athletes can excel both on and off the court. As free agency decisions loom, this investment might be the deciding factor that attracts top talent and keeps stars like Boston and Clark in Indiana for the long haul. Now, are you ready for the big free agent news?
So we finally got the news that we expected to hear all along for Kelsey Mitchell. We finally got the news, and it is that Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever has received the core designation. Yes, Kelsey Mitchell has been cored by the Indiana Fever.
Let's talk about the bombshell that just dropped in Indiana. The Fever made a major move that has everyone talking. They've CED'd Kelsey Mitchell. Now, what does that mean? In the WNBA, CEDing a player is like putting a giant keep away sign on them. It's a special designation that gives teams exclusive negotiating rights with the player during the free agency period. And Kelsey Mitchell? She's a bona fide star. The Fever showed just how much they value her by offering a 1-year Supermax contract worth almost $250,000. That's serious money and proof that Indiana is all in on building a powerhouse team.
If you're asking me to give a percentage chance of Kelsey Mitchell staying, I would go as far as to say 99. I'd go as far as to say 99.
But here's where it gets interesting. Mitchell could still leave the Fever, but only if the team agrees to trade her. If Mitchell wanted out, which doesn't seem likely, the Fever could command some serious assets in return, including high draft picks, promising young players, or even another established star. But why would Mitchell leave now? The Fever are building something special, and she's at the center of it. Just imagine this, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark in the same backcourt. That's a scoring explosion waiting to happen.
As I've said, there's no reason why Kelsey Mitchell wouldn't want to play with the Fever. And we've basically seen the Fever posting about Kelsey Mitchell everywhere. So it's not like it's something that is unlikely, but it is going to be huge. And at this stage, it's like trust the process. It's trust the organization. Because look, this organization has proven that they're willing to put the money back that's generated by it.
Mitchell averaged 19.3 points per game last season, an elite level of scoring. And she did it while playing alongside Clark and Boston, who drew a lot of defensive attention. With Clark and Mitchell on the same team, you've got two of the most lethal scorers in the game. Defenses are going to have nightmares trying to stop them both. The Fever aren't just building a team, they're creating a roster that could dominate for years to come. With 9 players already under contract for 2025, they still have about $650,000 in cap space, enough to pay Mitchell her supermax salary and still have room to sign another max player and a key veteran.
This is the smartest thing for you. And there's no way that and there's no agent in the world that would tell Kelsey Mitchell not to sign with Indiana. To be honest, there is no agent in the world that will tell any player not to sign in Indiana.
Mitchell's core designation is a rare move for the Fever. In fact, she's only the 5th player in the franchise's 25-year history to receive this honor. This is a club that includes legends like Tamika Catchings. That's the kind of company Mitchell is now in. And Mitchell's not taking this lightly. She's been vocal about her connection to Indianapolis, saying, "I've always seen Indianapolis as a home for me."
If you're asking me what team should Kelsey Mitchell play for if she's, in reality, the answer is the Indiana Fever. There's no basketball, there's no genuine basketball reason for her to play for anyone else. Is there even a non-basketball reason for her to play for the Fever? there's no like, maybe if we're talking about like non-basketball reasons, like personal reasons maybe, but like off the court reasons there's none either. So
Think the Fever are done this off-season? Think again. Remember that extra cap space? Well, here's the plan. There's a 6 feet 4 inches unicorn about to hit the open market, and she's got the Fever written all over her. And here's the twist, she's already dropped some major news about her current team. Ready for this potential game changer?
And then also, you're one of the top free agents in this year. So, I mean, do you have any ideas of what you might prioritize, or do you plan to stay in Dallas next season?
Yeah, I mean, I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years, and I'm working with them together and finding a next home for me because I've already played my last game in Dallas.
We're talking about none other than Satou Sabally. During a media availability, Sabally dropped this bombshell: "I've already played my last game in Dallas." Just like that, the WNBA free agency landscape shifted dramatically.
And I'm just excited. I'm excited for free agency. I'm able to talk to a lot of players outside the league because I have not played on a different team yet. And I'm excited to get to know them more on a personable level, but also knowing how they approach the game. And I just love having basketball conversations and high-level IQ conversations about the game to know where I will fit best in the future.
So, where's Sabally headed? The New York Liberty are in the mix, with Sabally's sister Niara already on the team. But hold your horses because the Indiana Fever might have the inside track. Why? 2 words: cap space. The Fever have money to spend, and Sabally is looking at a potential max contract, something the Liberty can't offer unless they offload assets and deplete their bench, considering Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquil Jones are already on max deals.
Ben?
To just following up there, I guess, because you said it's Satou, what was Dallas's reaction when you communicated that to them?
Obviously, at first they were still trying, but I think what is most effective is working with the player and listening to their wishes and hearing out how we can find the best solution for each other.
To this lineup: Caitlin Clark running point, Kelsey Mitchell at the 2, Lexi Hull on the wing, Sabally at power forward, and Aaliyah Boston holding down the paint. That's a nightmare for any team in the league. Last season, Sabally was a force, averaging 18.6 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game. But here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine those numbers with Caitlin Clark as her point guard. Clark's court vision and passing ability could elevate Sabally's game to a whole new level, just like she did with the rest of her teammates.
But they've been effective tonight. Williams slips the pass. Satou! Get that egg out of our basket.
Dallas needed a little bit of juice, a little bit of energy right there. Thank you for that, Satou.
Sabally does end up in Indiana. We're talking about a potential dynasty in the making. Clark, Boston, Mitchell, and Sabally. That's a core that could dominate the WNBA for years. We could be looking at multiple championship runs with this group.
Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. She's selling out gyms. Why would you hate against that? We had a sold-out home opener. I think it was a practice game, like it wasn't even serious. We benefited from that because now we have all our fans there, and they're excited, and you have new people coming into a market. She is her own economy, and that is amazing.
But the Fever aren't putting all their eggs in one basket. They've got options, including Gabby Williams from the Seattle Storm as a solid plan B. The suspense is building. Folks, will Sabally make the move to Indiana and create a super team, or will another team swoop in at the last minute? The WNBA landscape is about to change, and we can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Building quality depth is going to be important. You know, when you have a core 3 like we have, surrounding them with players who are going to fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, who are going to embrace the roles, secondly, and who give us the best opportunities for success by complementing what they do really, really well.
Let's talk about Gabby Williams, a free agent who's caught the Fever's eye as they build their championship dream team. Why are they considering Williams alongside Sabally? It's simple, she brings a unique set of skills that could be the missing piece in the Fever's puzzle. Defense is Williams' calling card. She's a lockdown defender who can disrupt opposing offenses and create turnovers. But here's the interesting part. Williams isn't just about defense. When the stakes are high, she steps up her offensive game too. In last year's playoffs, she averaged 17 points per game, showing she can deliver when it matters most. Williams' versatility is a coach's dream, allowing the team to adapt to different matchups and situations. Picture this: Williams at small forward, freeing up Lexi Hull to come off the bench and rain down threes, or imagine her at power forward, giving the Fever a lightning-fast lineup that will leave opponents scrambling.
Can prevent that tonight. Gabby Williams with the pick. Oh, behind the back to Jewel. Hello! Showtime on a Wednesday night.
But can Williams handle the pressure of a championship run? You bet she can. She's battle-tested in the playoffs and even competed against Team USA in the Olympics. This woman knows what it takes to perform on the biggest stages. At just 27 years old, Williams is entering her prime right as the Fever are gearing up for a serious title push. Talk about perfect timing. Analysts are buzzing about how her defensive prowess and scoring ability could complement Caitlin Clark's game. Imagine Clark dishing out those jaw-dropping assists to a cutting Williams. It's a combination that could give opposing coaches nightmares. Williams brings more than just on-court skills. Coaches rave about her work ethic and adaptability, intangibles that can transform a good team into a great one. Her playoff experience could be invaluable for the younger players on the Fever roster, providing leadership when the stakes are highest.
This is a place where players can come and get better and be surrounded by an organization that supports you. They're going to have everything they need to be successful.
So why are the Fever considering Williams as part of their championship strategy? It's about finding that perfect puzzle piece that makes everything click. Williams' unique combination of defense, clutch scoring, versatility, and experience addresses several of the Fever's needs. By potentially adding her alongside a star like Sabely, the Fever are showing they're serious about building a well-rounded, championship-caliber team. In the WNBA, where every advantage counts, Williams could be that secret ingredient that pushes the Fever over the top. Her ability to impact the game on both ends of the court, coupled with her playoff experience, makes her an intriguing option as the Fever look to construct a roster capable of competing for a title. With Williams in the mix, the Fever might just have found the final piece of their championship puzzle.
So you like being a two-way player, like you like playing both ends?
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that always been like that?
No.
So it's new. You just started to enjoy defense.
Yeah. I feel like I just enjoy the game.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. Clark isn't doing this alone. Enter Aaliyah Boston. Together, Clark and Boston form a dynamic duo that could dominate the league for years. It's like watching the birth of a basketball supernova. And with Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull in the mix, the Fever are crafting a fab that could rewrite the WNBA history books. The Fever aren't done yet. Whether it's Sabely, Williams, or another game-changing free agent, they're still on the hunt for that final piece of the puzzle. And their new practice facility? It's a statement. The Fever are saying, come to Indiana, we'll treat you like the stars you are.
That's what I love doing. That's what I did all those years was, finding ways to add another player to our roster that's going to impact us and help us get better. So
the buzz around the league is electric. Players are taking notice. The Fever are transforming from underdogs to the team everyone wants to join. When Aaliyah Boston's rookie deal expires in 2027, or when Caitlin Clark's contract is up in 2028, don't you think they'll remember this commitment? Kelly Krauskopf, the Fever's president, emphasized that this new facility isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about showing their dedication to providing the absolute best for their players. It's about creating an environment where champions are born and legacies are built. But let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about the Indiana Fever. This is about raising the bar for the entire WNBA. When one team invests this heavily in their future, it challenges every other franchise to step up their game. The ripple effects of this move will be felt across the league for years to come.
Everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in.
Endgame. The Indiana Fever are positioning themselves to become the WNBA's next great dynasty. But here's the thing, great expectations come with great challenges. Can they manage the pressure of sky-high expectations? Will their young stars adjust to the pro game quickly enough? And let's not forget about the fierce competition from established powerhouses. The Fever are betting big on their young stars, their free agent moves, and their ability to create a winning culture. The question is, are they ready for what comes next? One thing's for sure, the basketball world is watching, and the Fever are determined to put on a show.
Though it didn't end the way we wanted it to end, there was a lot of optimism. There was a lot of enthusiasm around, this is a new beginning, it's a new start. And I think it's great for our franchise. It's great for our fans, and we're excited to see who can join us and help us as we continue to move forward and continue to be a great standard in the WNBA.
The Indiana Fever just set a new standard for WNBA teams. Their state-of-the-art facility isn't just about fancy courts, it's a game changer for player treatment and future investment. Teams like the Connecticut Sun, still sharing practice space, now face tough competition for free agents. The Fever raised the bar, and other teams must follow suit or risk falling behind. Who's next to make a big move? The game has changed, and the Fever showed what going all in on women's basketball looks like. This investment ties directly to Caitlin Clark's impact. Her star power is pushing teams to elevate their game off the court. How will other franchises respond to this new era in the WNBA? Can the other teams keep up? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out.
Turn on all notifications
Click the video
so you never
on the
miss
screen,
out.
And we'll see you in the next one.